Welcome, me hearties. Welcome to the Denver Broncos Booze Up. Yes. Welcome to the show, everybody. Week 16. Can you believe it? It is amazing. Captain, did you ever think when we started this humble podcast that we would be talking about the number one team in the NFL by week 16? Did you ever think it?
No, not what it's a Knicks, flicks, and chill moment for us. It's quite amazing. The Sweet 16, and here we are, the number one seed. I thought we'd have playoff contentions, but the number one seed, I wasn't there.
No.
Until Colin came on the show, and I gave him the 3 ounces of golden nectar challenge.
We like the 3 ounces of nectar, golden nectar. Yeah. I honestly, when you guys made that, I was like, oh, there's no way. I go, this isn't happening. That was in week like 12 maybe or 10. I mean, yeah. And it was like they were doing well. I mean, they obviously had won, several in a row. But no, I didn't think that was going to be the case, and it's been quite a ride. And I think really, I've taken your words to heart, and I think I now just have to enjoy the ride. This is really incredible. I know it's going to end in tears, but tears of pain, not tears of joy. And But I am certainly enjoying it, and I hope everyone is out there too. I'm continuing with the Christmas ales. This is the Celebration Ale, the Sierra Nevada Celebration Ale.
You're drinking a California beer tonight.
That's right. You know what? That's one of the first of those kinds of beers I ever had. Probably like as far back as first year of college. They've been around a long time, obviously. But that's one of the first, kind beers that I ever had. That's what we used to call them back then. So, but it's very good. I'm into the dark Christmas ales. They're very malty. I enjoy that. So I'm feeling my way through them. So it's good stuff.
I like it. I, too, am having a little bit of red in my drink, but it's cherry 7-Up Zero and vodka, because I'm just feeling the bloodstream needs to be a little bit thinner for tonight's conversation because it's all emotions now. Stats and money lines mean nothing. 2.5 points going into Denver. You challenged us, so we said, fuck off. No, this is all emotion-based.
As the resident naysayer, as you know, I definitely, I felt more. This is one where I was like, yeah, this is a really good team they're facing. This is. Oh, by the way, if you're enjoying our trim here, our holiday trim, it's very nice. It's very.
Just love holiday trim, John.
Yeah, you got to get that holiday trim. If you don't get any holiday trim, it's not. It's not. Jesus died for nothing. So
exactly.
But I was like, oh, this is going to be a real challenge. I go, and this is one. If you asked me 6 weeks ago, I'd been like, oh, they're going to lose this game. They're fucking dead, And I was like, oh, they're not favored. They're not favored at home. I was like, okay, that's odd. And I thought they're going to at least this is going to be a game where they're going to keep it close. If they do lose, it's not going to be by much, And I was like, oh, 2.5 points. I was like, I think they cover that for sure. But and just to show my maturation, I have now, I was like, I think they can do it. I think they can do it, and they did. So to recap, it was the Packers at the Broncos. Packers 26, Broncos 34. And Denver covered as the underdogs, and the over went way over, which we haven't. We're starting to see a little more of. The Broncos were the better team, and especially on defense, and we saw that for sure. But what a joy! And it wasn't like these games before where they just kind of barely got out of there alive. They kind of ended up kicking their ass, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I thought what was interesting is my wife drugged me to a White Christmas musical, and I was having to watch the game via the sports app on my phone. And I remember blue skying at one point during the play or musical, like, what is the vibe? Because the score's not looking that great. And I remember you're like, yeah, it's the same old crap.
Well,
I'm just like mesmerized, like, God damn it.
Well, it was the same old crap at first. I think I told you, I said, it's kind of same old crap, but the defense seems to be playing well. And that's really kind of what the tale of the first part was. Again, it was the same thing. First drive, they fumble. Harvey fumbles, and then it's like, oh fuck, okay. They looked all right. They were kind of moving a little bit. Next drive, it's like screen pass, and then they got a punt, and I was like, oh my god! And then
same old good old Sean Payton playbook, screen pass up the ass.
The Sean Payton playbook is just like page after page of empty pages, and then just at the very end it says screen pass, and it's just nothing else. The defense, though, the Packers got a field goal. I think maybe they stopped them. They got another field goal, but it was like whatever it was. It might have been 6-0 at that point. And at that point, I was like, okay, they are still keeping this very good team down. They're keeping them from scoring. And I thought that was very promising. And sure enough, it did turn out to be that. It was a promising development. And I think that the defense certainly held them in it. And by the end, I mean, the defense was playing lights out. I mean, they were fantastic. So again, what we said this whole time for 15 weeks prior, if the offense could match the defense, then there's really no stopping them, because the defense is playing so well. If the offense can just put up some points, we're in business, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I thought it was interesting after getting to the end of White Christmas, not that I haven't watched it 45 times for the past, umpty frats years, to come back and then watch the replay of the game on the NFL channel, knowing the outcome. You just got to watch it for what it was.
Sure.
And I felt that way in the beginning. Like, it was kind of like, oh, this is a slow train getting some coal in the engine, and we're going to start chugging along. And then you start seeing names pop up that you're like, what? Little Jordan Humphreys? Like, little Jordan Humphreys is back? Yeah, and Troy Franklin. And then you just start seeing Bo Nix flinging the ball downfield like just a crazy man. 4 touchdowns, 302 yards. I mean, this is exactly what you said, and we've been talking about for weeks. If the offense and the defense and special teams can all hit on cylinders, there isn't a team they can't beat. And I think we're getting to that point. It's unfortunate it's at the end of the season, but it's actually great timing when you look at the schedule that they have in front of them, that if you could beat the Packers, and then, we'll talk about the Jaguars later, but that's another tough team you're going to have to play. The Chiefs are now out of it completely. Bye-bye. So Christmas is going to be a gift for us. And you have the potential of a Chargers-Broncos primetime game being like the deciding factor of where the AFC lands. I didn't think the end of the season was going to be this exciting.
It's pretty damn good. And we've been rewarded for our stalwart fandom. And now we're seeing the fruits of our labor, as it were. So we're going to talk about the Chiefs. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, I just think that it seems like it's coming together, and I wasn't sure that it was. And I just thought, oh, here's the letdown, right? The Pats lost, so no big deal if they lose. And I thought, whatever. They lose. The Packers are a really good team, and I saw, I don't know if people were saying they weren't. Somebody was arguing about something. There's always some stupid argument going on about football. But they're very good, and they have a very good defense, and it was very surprising that that Bo was able to do what he did. I believe he set. Let me see. He's putting up Dan Marino numbers. You know about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Most games.
He's tied with Dan Marino for the 5th most QB wins in a player's first 2 seasons. So
and he can eclipse it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So if he wins out, or wins a couple more, that's fantastic. He'll be able to do that. Is it say 5th? Is that right? 5th? I don't know if it's. I thought maybe that was I thought maybe I don't know who 1 through 4 would be, but maybe you can ask an AI that. Maybe an AI will figure that out for you. Is that something AI can do?
Oh yeah, AI could figure it out. I do want to just provide a little bit of follow up. John, Tebow did wear number 15 from last week.
Tebow. What did we say?
Well, you said 17, and I was like, I don't know. And then I had to confirm because you put doubt in my mind.
Oh God, did I really? Because I have a Tebow shirt that I wear still, and it's 15. I don't know why I wouldn't know that. That's the problem with getting old, is that like as soon as you said that, I was like, well, of course Tebow wears 15. And I'm like, why wouldn't he wear 15? But apparently I didn't know that last week. So
I think it was just the John 3:15 that sparked the memory, Jesus Christ and all that good stuff.
I gotta wear I wear that Tebow one every so often. It's a Broncos shirt. It says Broncos 15 and then has Tebow 15 on the back. And it's a prized possession of mine. I love wearing that. So Tebow, shit, if Tebow could have thrown a little better, he might flourish. They were talking about, who were they talking about? This was a hockey thing. There was a guy who played for the Avalanche who was a very mobile defenseman. He was fast and small, and he was talking about how he would have preferred to play now because it would benefit him. And, I think about all these quarterbacks that were like, Tebow, the dude that played, he was actually a Broncos quarterback. He was the CSU quarterback. Oh shit, I can't remember. See, this is where we need Snyder, because Snyder would know this.
Oh, he can pull stuff out of his rear.
Yeah, I know. I found his jersey, his Broncos jersey, and I bought it for Snyder. I don't know if he still has it, but that guy was a mobile quarterback too. Anyway, Bo looks really good, and I always felt, and you could go back and listen to the tape, but I always said I think he's good. I think he's got it. I just thought Sean Payton was holding him back. And man, I don't know if he just told Sean Payton to piss off, but all of a sudden he was slinging some fucking touchdowns. He was running for first downs. He was doing the QB sneaks. He looks like he's really getting it together. And I still believe, and I get to this other part in a second, I still believe it's despite Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton is a detriment to him. And I just think, like, you watch the beginning of the games and you're like, how do these all start out the same? Why do they start the fucking same? They might be doing the same thing that they're doing in the third quarter, but they just seem to get into a groove. And I was going to bring up that, like I had said, like early in the game, I had posted something that it was like, same old fucking Sean Payton bullshit or whatever I said, just cut and paste. It's probably the same thing I say every week. And so some tier 5 like chirped at me like the next day and was like, "Oh, I stopped watching. Is that how the game turned out?" And I was like, you don't need, I didn't even answer him. I was like, I don't talk to tier 5s. I'll talk to a tier 3 probably. But a tier 5, I won't even go there. So
did you just address me as tier 5 before the show?
You? I didn't address you as a tier 5, did I? Oh no! I was talking about this particular case. This tier 5 was chirping me, and I was like, oh, I don't need this tier 5. You are a solid tier 1, Captain. But you're not a tier 1 platinum, unfortunately.
No, I can never be. My blood was not born.
If you lived here, you'd be a tier 1 platinum. But just because of where you live, you do not get platinum status. I'm sorry.
Well, the state, the way it continues to go, it could be platinum time very soon.
You're gonna get your platinum card, huh?
Oh, the platinum butt plug, my friend. Hey, to go back a little bit of follow up, I asked our good friend AI about the most winning QBs in the first 2 seasons. And, and again, I have said this again, like you said, run the tape. The NFL likes a good story. And you know who the most winning quarterback is in the first 2 seasons with 24 wins?
I have no idea.
Former Bronco Russell Wilson.
Whoa, really?
Yep. Bo Nix is right now 22 wins in his first 2 seasons. So if he gets 3 more wins and he wins out, he gets Russell Wilson's record. Again, the stories write themselves, and the NFL can't stop the fucking train.
Oh no, no. They love the stories, don't they? They love
Oh
it.
yeah.
And speaking of that, another story has come to an end. Mercifully has come to an end. That story is the story of the Kansas City Chiefs. And hallelujah that story has come to an end. That was the never-ending story. And finally, that never-ending story came to a close this week. Now, we there was a bunch of stuff had to happen for them to get bounced from the playoffs. It was like they had to lose the Chargers, the Bills had to win, and then there was something else, and I can't remember what it was. The Bills were getting fucking smoked. The Chargers were down. I was like, well, maybe there's next week. And then all of a sudden, they get fucking, and I think they were like, they obviously had to lose that game, but by the time Pat went out, they were getting eliminated. So that was really fantastic. So you can't celebrate injuries. Obviously, I think Mahomes is super talented. He's a Hall of Famer, really good player. But you know what? We've had enough of this bullshit, and we're done with it. And finally, it's over. And I would not be surprised that. Because I have not heard anything about him getting surgery yet. Have you heard anything about him getting surgery?
Yeah, he actually had surgery, and they said it's actually worse than they thought.
He did have surgery.
Yeah.
See, I thought he was just going to be like, because they said, we're exploring options. And I was like, options? I go, if you got a fucking torn ACL, you got to have surgery. That's just all there is to it. So I just figured he was like, he was hurt, and he was just like, I don't want to be around a losing team. I'm just going to pretend I'm hurt, and then I'll miraculously be better. So if he had surgery, then that means he actually had the injury. So
torn ACL and LCL. So he ain't going to be back till mid 2026. Like that's a year ending. That's a year recovery. Easy.
Yeah. You remember, Javonte Williams, when he played for the Broncos, like I think it was his first year, he blew his knee out really bad like that. Both ligaments were gone, and he came back the next season. Now he wasn't great, and he was certainly, obviously not quite there yet. A little different though. He needs his knees a little more than a quarterback does. Obviously, you need your knees. Brady came back and was fine. So I would imagine that Pat will be back and probably for the next season for sure. But whether he's 100%, who knows? He probably won't have his buddy Travis Kelce. So let's just hope that Pat can still wow Chris Collinsworth, and he won't be a problem to the rest of us.
Is Chris Collinsworth even going to be allowed to do any more commentating this season? Like, I heard he was getting roasted for stuff that he was bringing up during the Dallas game about that guy who ended up committing suicide, and people were like pissed at him for that. And so, if you're CBS, is he on CBS? I can't remember.
That's
Romo, isn't it?
Yeah, he's on the NBC broadcast, I think, Collinsworth, because he's on Sunday nights.
Yeah, you're right. But how can you, if you're NBC, continue to allow this guy to just? He's kind of got the old man syndrome. I'm going to go back to what you said. It's like Pete Carroll trying to find his car, and he's lost it in the parking lot.
Well, it's the same thing. I think we talked about this before. If somebody is, they're like, oh, well, Chris Collinsworth is super knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about. And if he's also super controversial where people hate his guts, well, guess what? They're going to watch him, and they know they're going to watch him. So they're going to tune in. They're going to be like, oh, I hate this guy so much. I got to see what he says next. That's how it's always been.
Not at my age, buddy. When he started going off about Mahomes last week, I immediately turned off the Chiefs game. As much as I wanted him to lose and I wanted to watch that game, I just couldn't listen to the dribble.
No, it's terrible. I tune it out. I'm usually like, if I'm watching those games, I'm like, looking at my phone. I might have like, a hockey game on the laptop. So he doesn't, he bothers the shit out of me. Don't get me wrong. I can't stand him, but I don't really listen to what he has to say. So Mike Tirico's good. So that's the problem. But anyway, suck a big one, Chiefs. See you later. Godspeed. Your time at the top was grand, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the fans enjoyed it, but we're done with you. So there was somebody arguing, their friend that comes on and chats with us on here, the Asymptomatics.
Yeah.
He on Blue Sky, he's always tangling with Chiefs fans and such, and it's great. It's like doing the Lord's work because I don't want to do it. I don't want to get aggravated, so I just watch him tangle with him. And then one of the Chiefs fans pulled out the whole thing of like, well, we got 4 Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hold on. Your first Super Bowl was won in 1970 when Richard Nixon was still president, okay? If Richard Nixon was president when you won your first Super Bowl, it does not count.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they allowed black people to play in 1970. They may not have at that point. That's like with baseball. They like the Yankees have 800 championships. And it's like, look, 50 of those were won when it was white people only. So you can't count those at all. Those are fucking bullshit. Yes, you can put a banner on the wall. That's fine. But it doesn't count in the grand scheme of things. All those Steelers Super Bowls, it was like in the 70s. Like, man, totally different game than it is today. Yes, you can hang it up on the wall, but you can't point to it as like, well, we have this many. No, it doesn't matter. That doesn't.
You should only be allowed to make commentary about this during the championships that have been won during your lifetime, right? So, like, I feel like as Bronco fans, you and I have been around long enough to see 3 Super Bowl championships, 2 of them back to back, right?
Yep.
And we're about to be in a 4th one. So, we'll be able to talk about 4 championships. But I don't think you should be able to start bringing up shit that you know nothing about.
Yeah, I mean, and there might be a little bit of a window there because I was just thinking, like, my kids, they're not huge sports fans. I mean, they can appreciate the Broncos, but they weren't they weren't alive for the first 2, but they could certainly that's in the era. That's in the era of this. So
yeah, I'd agree.
Like when the Chiefs won when they won their first Super Bowl. I mean, I don't even know if the forward pass was in vogue yet. Was it? I don't even know if they were doing that. Like,
I don't go back that far.
I guarantee if you watch that game, it'd just be embarrassing to watch because it would just be horrible football. And anybody, like any college team, could fucking whoop ass on any of those teams that played in it. I don't know who they played. They probably played the Packers or something like that. So, the Packers won Super Bowl 1. Oh, congratulations. Lyndon Johnson was president then. It was like sports weren't even sports then. It wasn't even the same thing. It was like they were still part-time players, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, even in the era of Mike Ditka, I mean, I saw Mike Ditka talk, and you start talking about how much they got paid back in the day when they played, and it was nothing. You think you had, athletic trainers on the side of the film. You couldn't get Aaron Rodgers and get perked up on the sideline while you had an injured hand and be able to complete the game high. That didn't exist.
The fucking New York Jets right now would beat that Chiefs team from 1970 so bad. It would be like fucking 124-0. Like, it would be so bad. It would be a fucking bloodbath. So if it's that much of a disparity, you can't count it. Can you imagine a pitcher in baseball from today going back to like 1920 and fucking blowing the doors off those guys?
Well, it's like you look at those numbers that Babe Ruth had back in the day, and he's out there doing blowing hookers, and he's knocking home runs and setting major league records, and you're like, different era. I don't know if you can
different era. So anyway, Chiefs fans, yeah, you're pretty much tied with the Broncos. So let's not get uppity. And then the Broncos will be either ahead by my metric or just tied with them if you want to go the 1970 route. So
I did see a Chargers fan, kind of look at the statistical analysis where they were irritated with the Broncos, right? Because there's this era of like, you look back in the 2010s and the Broncos dominated the AFC. And then there was this changing of the guard, and then it was KC, and then the Chargers were kind of up there, but the Chargers have never gotten anything, right? And now they're agitated because you can see, and again, this is just my half glass full thing. I'm like, there's definitely a changing of the guard happening in the AFC West. And if the Broncos continue on this trajectory with the young players they have, and they can still keep reinventing themselves. I mean, you could see a good run with Bo Nix as long as nothing happens for another 5 seasons.
Oh, easily, yeah. I mean, he's a little older, but still, it's not like he's like Phillip Rivers' age, you know. So
I mean, by the way, can we talk about that? I felt so bad for him. He was there. He had the W, and then
yeah,
the INT at the end, and you're just like, damn it, man, you almost did it. But still, I'm excited for the guy.
yeah. I mean, you know what? That's pretty impressive. He hasn't played in 5 years, and he fucking got out there. I mean that's tough, man. I mean, Tom Brady was. I mean, like I think Tom was a year older. I think when he retired, right? I think he was 45,
Something
but
like that.
Brady was like, still looked decent, but you could tell he was slowing down. And I mean, he'd been playing this whole time, but he looked like he was kind of like reaching the end. Manning obviously was done.
Oh, he's broken. Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive, Phil. I think it's we salute you, Phillip Rivers. But it would be great if the Broncos could play him in the playoffs at some point. That'd be fantastic.
It's just delicious, right? I mean, the amount of clowning that could go on, but still a respectable clowning.
A respectable clowning. Who's Bandy?
Bandy? I don't know. What are you talking about?
Bandy, I don't even know his first name. He's the guy who caught the first touchdown.
Oh, I don't know. Again, it goes back to like this. Who are these people and where did they come from?
His name's like Michael Bandy or something like that. I don't know what it is. And then I don't think they even knew. The announcers didn't know. They're like Bandy for the touchdown, and I was like, yes, and I was like, who the fuck is Bandy? I was like, what the fuck? So Bandy, and I don't know his first name. I didn't write it down. He was like a practice squad guy, but he was like a rugby player. He was playing rugby professionally, and then he got on the Broncos and they gave him a shot, and he scored his first touchdown the other night. So.
Well, I think, and again, you can run the tape back. And John, a little bit of statistical news. I know we said this wasn't going to be a stat show today, but I did have to go back and take a look at the web server and just go, where are we? Are we just doing this in a vacuum? Are people actually listening to the show? Would you like to know, after only 16 episodes, actually only 15 because we skipped the bye week.
Sure.
Do you know how many people or subscriptions we have to our RSS podcast feed? If you had to guess the number.
Well, I don't want to. I'm tapping this. This is what you do. You got to tap it.
You got to tap it. You're at high altitude, my friend. You should know this.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. Oh my God. See, I don't want to embarrass myself and be like, say like a high number and then be like, oh no, it's not that much. So
I was blown away.
I'm going to say 400.
Keep going.
Whoa. 800.
Keep going.
Whoa. I was going to say at first, like 1,300, but I thought that'd be way too much.
You were very close. It was like 1,416.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. I mean, I know the views on this aren't that good, but I think I don't like to sit down and watch something I don't like that anyway. This is just a good medium for us to do it and then have it record. So if people are listening to it, that's fantastic. We appreciate all of you losers that would listen to us.
Well, look, we got people from across the globe listening to us, right? And that's always interesting. But, to your point, I was listening to a podcast today and, they're talking about all these things podcasters are doing. You got the video feed, the audio feed, and how these different platforms handle them because you got to submit these things to all these different players. And the one thing that I think these guys said that I agree with is like podcasting is a sit back in your car, I can't do anything else and listen medium, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think, you got people who commute and they like a little entertainment. And if they're Broncos fans and we found a niche, I'll tell you, I didn't think our numbers would be that high after 16 episodes with us just posting on Blue Sky and a couple of YouTube views. So cheers to all of you.
Cheers to all of you. Let me, if you want a bigger reach on Twitter or X, the Everything app, let me get out the Nazi thing again. and put that up so we can get the Nazi vote.
Yeah, give me a screen grab for that, and so when I continue to post in a vacuum on there, I'll actually get some attention.
Yeah, just put the fucking Third Reich thing that I keep holding up. It's over there. I keep putting it away. It's too far away for me to grab right now, so we'll do that. But yes, thank you, everyone. See, that's why I brought up Bandy, because he's a rugby player. Rugby is very popular in other parts of the world. So if you're listening in a country that rugby is more prominent than American football, which is the case in most countries, you might be interested in a little bandy. Okay. Did I tell you that I went to the only sporting event I ever went to in another country? I saw Ireland play Italy in Dublin in rugby.
Get out. That had to have been a blast.
It was fantastic. It was so much fun. And I don't mind rugby. I've seen rugby. There's a rugby stadium just down the street from my house. It's a good sport. I enjoy it. And it was great. So I got to see like a full on rugby, international rugby match in Dublin. It was really cool.
Did you get to sing any of the cheerful songs?
The body sports drinking songs? No, yes. I didn't really catch that. There wasn't much of that I noticed. I think the soccer teams really have that going on. So hey, you know what? We might have to do we'll have to do an Olympics version. I think there's the Olympics, World Cup. I think the World Cup is this summer.
Yeah.
Maybe before we get back into training camp, we'll have some World Cup action to talk about.
Yeah, we should probably do like an international sports episode. It's funny you bring that up, because now that Apple has bought the rights to F1, I don't know if you watch racing at all.
No.
I don't either. I watched NASCAR for a little bit. I had a friend of ours who actually builds oil sump pumps for, I forget who it was. I think it was Jeff Gordon back in the days. But he took me to the racetrack Fontana up here in California. Interesting. A NASCAR race is attending, because one, they get way more people than football, which is fascinating to watch cars go in a circle. But the demographics of people there were just crazy. All walks of life, people beer bonging off of RVs. I was just interested. But to go back to the F1 thing, I was like, it was kind of like hockey. When I was trying to ask you to help me get into the Avalanche, because it's great to watch you guys get excited about the Nuggets and Avalanche. But I figured this would be a year I'd try a new sport, and I'd try to get into F1.
And is it going?
Well, no, they just finished their season.
Oh.
But I was doing a little research on it. There's a lot of high drama in that sport.
Yeah, there's some divas. There's some divas in that.
That's the thing. And I'm like, I bet you could do a total rundown on divas in sports. Way worse than the NFL.
What does the one guy that's part owner of the Broncos, what does he race? Is he an F1?
Oh, he's F1. Yeah.
He's
I
F1.
think I believe he's on McLaren.
Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong.
Well, I'll root for that guy. I'm rooting for him, Condoleezza Rice, the Peeners, and the other Peener. I love my Peeners. Every time there's a Peener shot on the broadcast, I send out a Peener alert, because I want everyone to know that I've just seen the Peeners.
I gotta say, it was funny. There was an Instagram reel that came up on my thing a couple days ago, and it was just showing, the Broncos ownership and how much money they have compared to the number 2 team. Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
It's like $100 billion or something. Like, when you're talking that kind of gap, and you're like, God damn it, we do got some big Peener daddy energy with the money getting slung around. And to this day, like, I'm sorry, the best episode title we got was Big Peener Energy. And I'm hanging that on, season 1 of the Broncos Booze Up. It's just going to be titled Big Peener Energy.
The Peeners are where it's at. But I mean, Stan Kroenke owns the Rams. He can't be maybe them combined or more than Stan, but Stan's got to be up there, right? Stan has to be as rich, or
it could be as rich, but I mean, I don't think they have. When you look, I think they were talking about total ownership group, right? Because you got to remember, the Peeners got like how many, 7 or 8 different investors into.
Well, that's true, but when the cameras come on, they're only showing the Peeners. They're only showing Peener.
Hey, you're talking about Walmart money, dude. And in this economy, that's only going to continue to grow. I'm a big Walmart Plus fan. I'm giving into the big peener energy.
I have not, and I won't. But I've said this as much that if the Peeners can bring us a Super Bowl, I will pledge my life to them. I will pledge my life to the Peeners. And
what if I got you for Christmas a subscription to Walmart Plus?
I would never use it.
Why not?
I will not shop at Walmart.
Why? No, you don't have to shop there. That's the beauty of the Plus in Walmart Plus, John. No, you could do free delivery.
Sounds like I'm shopping at Walmart.
No, you are shopping at Walmart through the app, but then you don't have to deal with some of the troglodytes who are in the store. That's the benefit.
I don't know how they are in California, but if you've been in a Walmart, it is fucking a bummer, man.
Dude, John, I used to work for Walmart. That was like in college. When I went to school in Nebraska, there was only one big corporation, and it was Walmart.
Yes. So they're a bummer, and it was funny because there's the Denver comedian Adam Caton Holland, who's really funny. He has a bit that he just put on. He was talking about. He was like, "Hey, have you been in a Walgreens lately?" And he described Walgreens being like this war-torn fucking hellhole. And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's totally." But I was like, Walmart's just as bad. Like I remember a couple of Christmases ago, I was like looking for something like a toy for a kid, and I went to there's one in Aurora, and it's right near where I go all the time to go to Home Depot and some other places. And I was like, I should just go in this Walmart and see if they got it. And it's like the lightings. It's like when somebody they find a fucking store in a zombie movie and they have to walk in. The lighting's really bad and then flickering, and you're like, oh God, am I gonna what's around this corner? That's what the Walmarts are like. And I'm like, if that's how they made their money, man, well, you know what? If they made fucking if they made something out of that, then maybe the Peeners can make this Broncos team great. I don't know.
Hey, I will buy every great value brand I can if it contributes to the bottom line of the Broncos getting better fields, better scoreboards, a better stadium. I feel like I'm investing in the team like the Green Bay Packer fans do.
That is one way to look at it.
It's about the only positive spin I can put on it.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I remember Mike Kliss, who loves to just lovingly tongue bath the Peeners. He loves Peener. He loves Peener. I mean, I think you guys know that already. He was like gushing over how much money they had, and he said something like, "Oh, could you just imagine if there's no salary cap? Nobody could outspend them." And I was like, "Of course, dude." I go, "If there's no salary cap, that's the whole point of a salary cap. So you don't have somebody like that come in and just fucking buy everything up." I mean,
you don't like the way baseball's completely torqued up right now?
Yeah. It's like fuck that. I like this. I like somebody having to make rational decisions with the money. You know, it's like that's how real life works. You have to like make rational decisions with where your money goes. So I think sports teams should do that too. So it can backfire, and your favorite player might leave, but you know what? That's the break. So, but all hail the Peeners, and hope that they continue to pump money into replacing the sod like they do all the time. Mike loved that too. Mike Kliss was like, it was like he was just stroking himself talking about how they replaced the grass, and like he was just like, oh my God, they replaced the grass, and I was like, dude, that's like, oh, the sidewalk broke outside my office. I should probably replace it so Sally, who's the receptionist, doesn't fucking trip. That's what you do. You make improvements. That's not anything different. If you're thinking like the Cleveland Browns, yes, they probably don't do shit, So I think Peeners. No, I was just gonna say the Peeners are just doing what they should be doing.
Well, I want to talk about this topic because you bring up an interesting point. Like, if you're the landscaping crew for the Denver Broncos, like, how much do you gotta fucking love grass? Like, I mean, you gotta be all in if somebody's like, bro, we're doing new grass this week. Most people would be like, bro, we just fucking did this 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But now, I don't know if you saw I saw some post where it's like they got some hydrometer, in the ground checking moisture levels and all the rest of this shit. And I'm just like, whatever happened to just letting it be what it is? Like, I understand to your point, fix a broken sidewalk, but like, if it's fine, just let sports be sports.
Well, I don't think it was fine. I think it was really torn up when the Peeners replaced it. It was getting pretty gnarly, and it was certainly like near the end of the season, and now everyone was kind of like, do you really need to? Obviously people get hurt. You don't want people to have an ACL injury and be out for some time. Wink, wink. You want to make sure it's fine, but no, I was just thinking.
Discussion of replacing the grass this season is happening frequently. Like maybe I'm old, but I feel like I've heard this topic like 3 or 4 times.
Well, I'd be curious if that's what they're going to do, because I don't know if it would be if it's from weather, but it's been very warm here. Like we had snow, like I don't know when. It was like a couple weeks ago. I can't even remember when it was, and it has no moisture since. So I wonder, obviously they're watering it, but I wonder if that's kept it in better shape. I have no idea. So, but
we should find an expert, bring him on the show.
Well, his name's Mike Kliss, and he'll fucking tell you for sure when they he's like Carrie Peener farted and it fucking smelled like Thanksgiving dinner. And that's the level of his reporting. You know what I mean?
That's deep, John. Real deep. You're getting right up in there.
Yeah, it is. So Mike's right up in there, dude. He's right up in there. Whenever one of those people breaks wind, he's fucking right there to be like, jelly beans.
Colonoscopies for free.
Yeah. If Ken, what's his name? Ken, what's Peener's name?
Hell if I know.
Her name's Carrie, I think, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So I don't know. Oh God, I can't think of what his name. I just call him Peener. He's just Peener to me. If Peener's getting a colonoscopy, well, fucking Mike Kliss is going to be there reporting on it. He's going to fucking be right up there with the
polyp free, thanks to Kliss.
Yeah, you know what? Polyp free, and that's going to be breaking news from Mike Kliss. He's going to fucking tell everybody about that. So,
breaking news or breaking wind, Kliss has got it all.
It's either one. So, I did want to say before we got to the game this week, it was one note that I had taken, but what is the thing? What is the switch that gets flipped that all of a sudden they start playing well? Like what could possibly happen in these games? Because, like I said, watching this game, like the first quarter, I don't remember what the score was at the end of the first quarter. They might have scored a touchdown, I think. It might have been like 7-6 by that point. But, like, what happens that all of a sudden they're like, time to fucking blow the doors off the Packers? What do you think it is?
I don't know what I just go back to, like, the same word I've been saying. It's grit. It's like they just refuse to fucking die. And I love that. Like I said before, during the Russell Wilson era, there was no urgency, right? And you look at the myriad of coaches or players that we had on the team, and nobody seemed to give a shit. And I think you've got a defense, you've got players, and I heard Bo Nix saying he's seeing the field better now towards the end of the season.
That's good.
And all that's great, but I just love the refuse to die attitude. And the best thing for me is they have so much at stake in these next 4 games. They're going to want to win, right? Look, you got Bo Nix about to eclipse Russell Wilson's record. I mean, God, wouldn't that just be sweet? Then you have the opportunity to clinch the AFC West this week with the Chargers playing the Cowboys and at Dallas. And Dallas is favored. Like, Jesus, I am getting my credit card ready. And I'm not the guy who's going to drop money on NFL merch every time, but I want to buy this AFC West championship hat so bad.
Oh, don't buy it. That's bad luck.
No, it's one of those, you got to have it in the collection.
Okay, the collection's fine, but like any AFC West or AFC champion stuff, that's it's not good.
No, you never wear it, right? It's kind of like the Super Bowl hat I wore a few weeks ago. Like, I don't think I wore that since 1998.
I wear the last Super Bowl shirt. I have a shirt. I wear that, but I wouldn't wear the hat. I don't think the hat is really they're never that good. No, you can't wear that stuff because it's bad luck. I still have a AFC champions pennant from when they fucking got smoked by the Seahawks. I have that hanging up in my office. Yeah, it's awful. But that's when I don't know if we were talking about thrift stores, and there were so many AFC West and AFC Championship T-shirts in the thrift stores, like 15 years ago, like tons and tons and tons. And I mean, I just buy it up whenever I found it. I'd sell it on eBay. But there's a lot of that stuff, and there's a reason why there's a lot of that stuff, because a lot of those never went anywhere. A lot of those AFC championships never went anywhere. So
no, but I think, as hopefully I look at this show and you and I are alive to do this for 10 seasons, if we've still got it in us, that like I would like to make the backdrop of what we have here just a little bit more special. You frame the t-shirts, you get a little motif going, and then it gives you some more street cred for those who have never seen you before when they find you on the YouTubes.
Collection wise, yes, I can see that and I approve. But I think wearing it, no, you don't want to.
No, not in public. But what do you think it is, John? What do you think it is that's turning the season to this like never say die, Goonies never say die attitude?
Well, I don't know. I was just going to say the other point I was going to make. I was praising the defense, and I remember during the game I was complaining about him and calling Vance Joseph a genius, like I call Sean Payton. And the Packers were just wide open. Like the first half of that game, it was just like. The camera would pan to where the ball was going, and there'd be a Packers guy standing all by himself. And it was very much like how the Chiefs, would operate, where there'd just always be somebody open. And I was like, God, this is a terrible game plan. The defensive game plan is awful. And then that just changed. And honestly, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, I don't know enough about football to be able to go, they did this, they changed this. I don't know. I can't watch it. I watch it and I don't know enough about it to be able to tell you that. But something happens, and we saw it early in the season. It happened in like the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, but now it looks like it's happening, halftime adjustment almost, like they go, okay, we got to do this, we got to do that. I think for the defense, I think they figure out how to get better pressure. And I think at some point in the game, they start getting to the quarterback. So that wide open fucking pass that he made before, it's not there because he's got a guy up in his face. Mm-hmm. So I think as the defense heats up and starts getting more pressure, all that stuff goes away. For the offense, I have no idea, because it just looks like maybe Bo gets in a groove, and he starts out, he's a little tight, and then probably like 2 quarters in, quarter and a half in, he starts letting it rip. And he was letting it fucking rip. And like I was like, every time he threw the ball, I'd be like, oh, here we go. And I'd be like, oh, that guy's wide open. Now that helps to have a guy wide open, obviously. But
yeah, but remember, he was missing those plays at the beginning of the season. Like we were chucking balls downfield and nothing was connecting. And it just seemed like at the end of this game, it was like, hey, Troy Franklin, like, let me just reach up to the heavens and grab that football. There were just some crazy ass catches. And Aqib Talib even said this, that, hey, you're going to connect sooner or later. And I just hope they keep connecting, because that was a fun offensive game.
Well, and I thought that, Micah Parsons was just going to be fucking harassing him all day. And Micah Parsons is awesome. And it sucks that he had an ACL injury. Cause we like to see him play. Unlike some other people, it's not,
Well, now I heard, I forget who said it, but it was like they blamed Bo Nix for Micah Parsons. You see that? It's like, Bo, and you can't contain this guy, right? I think that's the problem when you look at these defenses. You have, some pretty good wide receivers. The running game's been a little lax, but it's getting better. But when you have Bo just scrambling and he's like fucking David Copperfielding defensive ends, and escaping and then throwing no-look passes for touchdowns. I mean, how do you contain that?
Well, that's the thing. They got to get him. They got to get him moving. And you and I have said this whole time. Why aren't they running him? Why aren't they running him? He moves out of the pocket, man. He's pretty deadly. And now that he's got a little more accuracy, it's connecting. So I hope we see more of that.
Can I bring up one more point before we get to the Jacksonville game? Because I think it's kind of practical to kind of transition into this, which is like fucking Riley Moss. Like this guy is shown up again and he got picked on for a penalty that was non-existent. And it's
wait. Are you talking about the one that the pass interference?
Yeah, it was 21 yards, and then they scored a 40-yard. Then they hit a 40-yarder for a touchdown.
But I just saw the thing where he was talking about, what did he say? Lactose intolerant? Is that what he said?
I missed that comment.
He said they're lactose intolerant. He's got a hold of the guy's wrist in that.
It's weak sauce.
You can't grab a guy's wrist.
No, but I think the point that I was trying to make is I just think the officiating this year has been really bad.
Oh, of course.
In a lot of games. And what I think is interesting is that, the referees' collective bargaining agreement comes up this year, right? And I think if you're the NFL, you're going to have to start making adjustments, because there are a lot of games, Bronco games included last season, that we lost because of bad officiating. And I don't think it's going to be too long before football starts entering into the we're going to have computers start making the calls.
Well, yeah, then it'll be really fucked up. then it's going to be even worse, because they're going to have fucking AI is going to think it's watching a tennis match, and they're going to be like, fucking love 15 or whatever.
Well, I mean, baseball's doing it with balls and strikes starting next season.
That's fine, but you still got a guy standing there that can hear. So here's the thing: the refs are part-time, right? They're not full-time guys. That's a big problem, because those guys are, like we talked about, the Chiefs Super Bowl 1970 Super Bowl win. Those guys are going to their fucking day jobs, and
they're slinging beer. Local dive bar.
Yeah, and then they're heading off to Cleveland to go ref a game. So that's a big problem, that those guys are part-time. They need to get that figured out, and then they can hold them more accountable for what they're doing. I don't think you can AI your way out of this one. I do think they need to speed up the goddamn. They do it now with. They'll say, they'll have somebody already review it, and they go, oh no, that was a fumble, or he was down. They can make it better that way. They could certainly have somebody already watch it and go, oh no, they've got this wrong, and they can call and say, you got it wrong, you got to pick that flag up, or whatever. They can certainly do that better, and I think having them be full-time employees would also help. But Riley Moss was grabbing the guy's wrist, and if you're 20 yards down the field and you got your hand on a guy's wrist, that's pass interference. Yes, it is.
That wrist thing's a little.
Yeah. That's a limp wrist you got there, buddy. And so Riley Moss needs to fucking just figure it out, okay? So you're making us white brothers look bad.
No, that is the complete opposite, John, of what I'm trying to convey here. He's getting picked on because they're lactose intolerant.
Yeah, that's right. It's anti-white discrimination.
Who would have thought that I can say that?
You know what? Elon Musk should come to his defense. Elon's way into all the fucking, he wants white discrimination to end, and he should start with what they're doing to Riley Moss. So,
oh God, don't draw attention to that. That's just going to make it worse.
But you know what? Let me get the Nazi thing. Let me go get the Nazi thing real quick to get Elon interested in it. Listen, Riley Moss needs to figure his shit out. Okay, so if you know what, it's like when one of my kids was little and the teachers were fucking always hammering him. I said, look, you can just avoid this. You can do what they say and stay off their fucking radar. Okay. Riley Moss needs to stay off their radar. Okay.
Who was that guy on YouTube back in the day who did the leave Britney alone? Right. Like I am in the leave Riley Moss alone camp.
You can't grab a guy's arm. You can't do it.
Of all the penalties in that game, that was weak.
It was not weak. I saw it, and I was like, he's got a hold of his wrist. Now, if you're hand fighting and you're kind of slapping each other's hands and maybe kind of like, kind of like a little like trying to tug it a little bit without actually grabbing, his hand was right on the wrist.
I mean, he doesn't love a little tug every once in a while.
Listen, I'm going to be critical of my white folks, my white dudes. Okay, I can be critical of them. It's fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But the only reason I bring that up is I think as we look at the Jaguars and Broncos game, the Broncos defense is going to have to come up big in this one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Jaguars at Denver. Denver is favored by 3. God, whoa, what's the occasion, Vegas? And the over-under is 45.5. Now, we all have memories of the Jaguars in 1996. Yeah, 1996, I believe it was. Really devastating loss. I think the Broncos, obviously, they've beaten the Jaguars many times since then, but that was a tough one. I don't foresee that happening this time. But the Jaguars are hot. They're playing real well. They have a good defense. So we're up against that. I don't think the defense is good as a healthy Packers defense. So I think a healthy Packers defense with Micah Parsons is certainly better than the Jaguars defense. But this could be, it could be a slugfest. They could do it, or the Broncos could open it up again. And honestly, Captain, I think anything could happen.
No, I agree. The last thing I want, though, is kind of like what the Jaguars did to the Chargers, right? Chargers went in there, they were doing shit hot, and then they just got their clock cleaned by the Jaguars. And that happens in Chargers football during this time of the year, especially in November. But yeah, I mean, Trevor Lawrence has to be pressurized. And if he's not and you start giving him time, he's going to start throwing, dimes on you like he did against the Jets last week. So, it just, as we talked about the Broncos defense earlier, they got to provide pressure. They got to do it soon, not giving up points. And I do think, if that damn Broncos offense and Bo Nix can start throwing the ball early like they did late in the game last week, they just have a lot to play for. And I think clinching the AFC West and just being done with that discussion and focusing on the number one seed, which is what they keep saying in their presser, I don't know. Again, a lot of feels with this team for me. A lot of feels.
A lot of feels. Yes, sir. I think that you're going to probably see a similar thing happen. They're going to come in. The Jaguars will probably start out kind of hot. They'll look pretty decent. And then I think the defense is going to settle in. And then Trevor Lawrence is going to he's going to feel the heat. So
could we get back to back? Like, can we get like a triple injury report from the Denver Broncos? Like, we took out Geno Smith, then Micah Parsons. Now, like, who's next on the Jaguars list? Do you take out T. Lawrence? I don't know.
They took out, God, I couldn't remember his name last week, and I could see it. The Houston quarterback. Hey, Grok, what's Houston's quarterback? See, I need some AI. See that? What the fuck?
This is what happens when you do podcasts at 50.
I know. I can't. I don't have any access to anything. Anyway, they took him out. Mm-hmm. So he was out for several games. We all mentally took out Patrick Mahomes.
The entire league.
We wish they were like kept going. Ooh, that knee is really bad. I was like, don't give any fucking excuses. And then sure enough, he fucking plants his knee wrong and boop. And so, no, I think it's going to be a good one. Again, every week's a good test. The Jaguars are playing real well. They're on a hot streak. So, if the Broncos can handle them, fantastic. Honestly, now I'm at the point where I'm like, they shouldn't lose this game, but that's always bad. When I'm in, then that means you should be out. Right?
Well, again, I mean, here are the things that have to happen for Denver to clinch the AFC number one seed. Broncos got to beat Jags. Chargers got to lose to the Cowboys. Patriots got to lose at the Ravens. And the Bills got to lose at the Browns. I mean, it's not a tall order. It's a big order, especially with the Bills at the Browns.
The Bills aren't losing that game. I think you could. I think you could safely put a house payment on that one, and don't for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Please do not bet on this.
That's all right. No, we just keep going. We'll just keep riding it. Hopefully it's done. I was gonna say hopefully it's done by the Chiefs game, but that's the next week, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna need that. The Chiefs. You got Gardner Minshew, so I'm thinking that the defense should be able to handle Gardner Minshew, but I would think the Chiefs are going to be pretty pissed off at that point. So they're going to be out for blood. So
you think so? I think just what do they call themselves? Chiefs? What do they call themselves? Chiefs Nation?
Chiefs Condom.
The Chiefs Condom. I call them the Chief Queefs. I just got to think they're so depressed in KC right now.
Good. Fuck them.
No, that's what I'm kind of like. So it's like you're going into this game. It means absolutely nothing to you. What are they fighting for?
Still, though, defensively, both sides, these guys are always playing for another contract, right? So
True.
they're not taking the time off.
They didn't fight last year when the Broncos torched them at the end of the season.
They were all resting. So maybe I was gonna say maybe the Broncos
didn't help them
rest, but they're gonna need to win that one for sure. So we'll see. We'll talk about that one next
on Christmas Eve.
On Christmas, no, it's not Christmas Eve. It's the next.
Yeah, we're doing a show on Christmas Eve.
No, it's the day before. Christmas Eve's on Thursday.
No, it's not, John.
What?
John, I just looked at the calendar.
Oh,
we literally talked about this before the show.
Oh, shit. Well, okay, well, maybe that'll be a late one because I usually go out to my dad's house.
Yeah, I was like, what are you all in on Christmas Eve? I'm going to be all by my lonesome.
Well, you're going to be. I got to go out to my dad's house. So, we'll plan that one out. That one might be a little bit later, and then maybe I'll be a few more drinks in at that point. So,
we'll figure it out.
We'll work it out. It's good. So, anyway, it's looking good. It should be another good game this weekend, and hey, you can't ask for much more than this, right?
No, it's the best. And like you said, enjoy the ride.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to enjoy the ride on out of here. Broncos country, let's ride. Have you heard that?
Oh, don't do it.
It's good stuff. So this has been good. Good times, everybody. Go Broncos. And until next time, this has been the Broncos Booze Up for me and the captain. Adios.
And our holiday trim.
Yes, sir.
Like Mike Kliss.
Mike Kliss.